Just bought this for $400. It's been sitting here for a long time with no history. And the first one's home. Machine number 2. And number 3. Last but not least, number 4. Hey guys, how's it going? You probably already saw a couple clips of me loading up the pieces as I was grabbing them and putting them on the trailer. Now I got them all at the shop. You can kind of take a slow down and take a better look at what we got, and I'll talk about my different scores for yard sale shopping. Yard sale shopping has been dead for obvious reasons, everything that's been going on, but things have backed off a little bit in our area. It's kind of lightened up. People are starting to come out and different things are happening, and yard sales have started reappearing again. Most of the larger equipment that you see, these 4 pieces right in front of you, all came from the same yard sale. It was an estate sale. The woman's husband passed away in 2009, and all these machines have been sitting since 2009. It's 2020 now, so 11 years not used. Whatever gas was in them, however they were stored, put away. You know, all the batteries are dead in them, and no background on any of them. You can't, you know, did any of them have problems? Did they not? I don't know. So I kind of bought them with the possibility of some of them may be having issues. Maybe, maybe not. That's the crapshoot that you take when you buy stuff like that. I paid up for them. I'll talk about the different prices I paid on each one as we approach them. So when we get a second, we're going to reorganize the camera. I'll show you a couple of the smalls. We'll work our way up to the bigger machines and go from there. I'm going to hand hold you. Hopefully it's not too shaky for you. Anyway, these 5 bags right here are stands that it's 12 feet high, I'd say. They are the stands that you would put those whipping flags. You usually see like coffee, sandwiches, you know, the little banners that go on a taper and feather off. Those are the stands for them. They were 20 bucks for the set of 5. They got a nice heavy metal base, and then the poles are all fiberglass. I think I may use that with maybe 2 sections of the poles on them for lighting, for filming. A couple of binders. These are the binders that are the ratchet type. They need some cleaning up, but therefore when you put a car on a trailer, you're hauling something on a trailer, it grabs both ends of the chain and puts the tension on it. I like those better than the other ones that you flip over as a bail. They can be a little bit cumbersome, plus they have a tendency to pop off if you don't wrap them with a chain. A couple of heavy extension cords, 5 bucks a piece. Some speaker wire, it looks like. That was in a free pile. Those 2 weights were in a free pile. A heavy canvas tent, not a tent, a canopy, I should say, and with the setup. It's probably from the 60s or 70s. It's got that right look as far as the color is concerned. And I would like to use that so that when the VW bus is out and about or out camping, we have some shade around it and a piece that matches, you know, roughly the era of what the bus is. It's an Echo chainsaw. I'm not sure if it's a high-end one or not. I do not think so. But it was 20 bucks. It looks like possibly it was a return or a rental from Home Depot. That's a common Home Depot thing that they do. It says recondition on it, yeah. So it was a saw that was returned to Home Depot. What's that, a 14-inch bar maybe? 14, 16? It's something, a little bit better than a Poland Pro. But again, 20 bucks. I grabbed that. I believe it's been sitting with fuel in it. It's the most common thing to eat. Things that sit around that do not get used, and then when they dig them out to go use them, they do not run because they were left with fuel in them. It's very common. Probably everywhere. All right, let's get on to the big stuff. So this machine is a Toro zero turn more like a residential machine. It's not a commercial type. You know, it's kind of on the cusp. I consider residential like a riding lawnmower. This is someone with a big yard would probably want this. It's a true zero turn. It's not belt drive. Zero turn means it could actually turn on its own axis. And this is hydraulic, not belt driven. So it has underneath it, whether it's going to show or not, you can see a hydraulic motor. And the hydraulic motor, it'll be a hydraulic pump coming off the engine that runs fluid to both of these and makes them so that they can go forward and reverse. So this tire can go backwards, the other tire can go forward, hence being a zero turn, true to zero turn. There's some cheaper ones that you could lock the brake on one side and it'll just pivot on that one, but it's not really a zero. It's got a 22 horse Kohler on it. I wouldn't say transmissions, the gearboxes I should say, or hydraulic motors, that's probably the correct terminology. Actually, the motor is on the bottom. Those are, I forget what we call them, drives. You guys are probably commenting right now, writing down. Anyway, they have a couple of locks or neutral positions you could pop them into. A couple little retainers, if you can see right there. There's one on each side. You would push those in, it would allow it to roll. Hydrostatic mowers are the same way. They have a single one on them. Those are both pushed in, but it still does not roll. So that's why it's sitting up on a dolly, so we can move it around. And again, it's been sitting for 11 years. All the stuff was in a garage. It was not out in the weather. So they are not beat as far as like rusty or beat paint or anything on them. It has a complete bagger set up for it too. The year on it, I do not know yet. Let me get out in front of it. So that's a nice machine, 42-inch cut. And again, with the bagger setup on it. I paid $400 for that. And that was the first piece I made an offer on. All the stuff was kind of set up. It really wasn't set up. It was just a garage full of stuff. There was a yard sale going out front with a bunch of smalls. And I inquired about this one, would you be selling this? And it was a yes, made an offer, they accepted it. And then all the other machines that you see, we'll get into them, were also, I'm like, are you gonna sell those? I thought she was gonna hold on to those for still cutting the grass on the property, but she said, no, everything's going. So then it was the John Deere, which is an X360. And that has also, it's full hydraulics, it's got power steering. I didn't do any homework on it while I was there. It's kind of, you go by the seat of your pants when you're offering on stuff. And it has that right there is a power bagger. And John Deere may call it something else, but essentially it's a fan that runs off the mower deck with another belt. Has a fan in the side of it and helps accelerate and kick stuff up into the bagger. That is on the back of that. It looks like it's in decent shape. I didn't see any cracks or anything in it yet. There's some hardware, some brackets on the inside of it, and then here's the tube for it. I do not know how many hours are on it because there's no power left in that battery. Motor, I don't know what the engine is on this for horsepower ratings. I do not see it written anywhere. I'm gonna guess it's probably around 22 horse, also Kawasaki. Last time it was serviced. $624.14. Well, that doesn't make any sense. 09 was supposed to be the last time it was used. Unless that's 19. No. Okay. Well, anyway, it's been sitting, I'm gonna guess, since 2014 maybe. It seems to be complete. I don't see any, again, the body of it looks decent. There's no real, little nicks and scratches. The seat looks fine. The bagger looks okay. It's got some seals and stuff that are flopping on it. Not that that's a big deal. The bags look like they're okay. They're not ripped up. Fuel smells. Mower deck looks nice and solid. Again, it's a decent machine. I didn't look it up ahead of time. I just kind of made an offer for this machine. And the DR Field and Brush Mower. At the time, I offered $1,000. They did not want to take the $1,000. It was kind of going back and forth. I was trying to protect myself for, again, you don't know if something has a bad engine. It's you know, it cost prohibitive. You could put an engine in this, but you're going to be, by the time you're done, what you can sell it for, almost what you would have into it. Not that you couldn't part it out, but so we went back and forth with it, and we ended up doing, essentially, we'll just call them separate. I did a package on them, but $750 for that, and we'll get to the DR. We did $500 on the DR. And again, that's decent. I don't know what year it is. It is a better machine than I thought. It kind of looked like a riding mower. The way I judge a riding mower to a garden tractor. A garden tractor is something that could run heavier implements. It's a little bit tougher in design. Something you could put a plow on, maybe even a loader. I wouldn't do that with this. And the quick and dirty way to go figure that out is if you click the rear axle in the center. Generally, you'll see like 5 lug wheels on a garden tractor. Riding lawnmower usually has this setup where it's just slid on an axle and it's got a little C-clip underneath that plastic cap in the center that holds it in place. But having said that, that's a nice riding lawnmower. It's not a Home Depot special, you know. It's a John Deere dealer sold item. She's also going to look for all the books on everything. And she does. She'll put them in my mailbox. Local to me, about a half mile away from my house. This was the very last piece. After it was all done, said we made a deal and everything. This was still sitting around. She thought it was a Honda mower. It's a Husqvarna. Not that it's a cheapo neither. Those I call them shopping cart front wheels are indicative of a little bit higher end quality. It also has a bagger assembly in the back of it. I think it might have like a personal pace, yeah, auto walk they call it, which is a variable speed by squeezing that lever, how fast you want to go. And it looks fairly clean too, but again, it's been sitting since at least 2009, since the last time that's been run. Not sure what the date is on that. Maybe she had it serviced or something and just put away, or had somebody cut in the grass, because I know that's when he passed. The DR. These are the mule of lawnmowers, probably the best way to put it. These are animals. These pretty much are just indestructible tanks. They could take down to like a 2-inch sapling and knock it down. The blades are, well, here's some extra blades on the inside of it. You know what a regular lawnmower blade thickness is. And you can see the beastiness of this. They will lop their way through pretty much anything as long as it's not metal. And it's got a 15 horse Cowie on it also. It is electric start. There is no pull start on this. It has an odd battery setup. Well, an odd battery. So it's not like a regular garden tractor battery, so I have a feeling that that might get a little on the pricey side. It has a 4-speed with a reverse, again electric start, and I think it has almost like power steering. You grab the levers and work the levers for kind of a left and right steering setup. And I have one of the original ones with the old wagon wheel I keep at the cabin. It needs to get refreshed. It's not starting this spring. It would not start due to fuel. Anyway, I leave that one there because it's ratty looking and it doesn't get stolen. This one I would not be able to leave there, but I might be able to bring it there and clean up the shoreline with it because it needs to be done. And let's get into, what else we got? I'm going to go reset you. Hold on one sec. This little girl's trike was 20 bucks. Asking 40, I offered 20. They said fine. Only reason why I grabbed it is it has a universal adapter. Like, that's just a regular kid's bicycle, girl's bicycle frame. You can see where the rear tire went. And if you flip it up on end, see if I could do that. So this is just an add-on to any bike. You could put this on any kid's bike and make it a trike. So that's why I grabbed it, just for that rear assembly that is like that. And along with bike stuff, I went to the swap meet today. Our first swap meet, which swap meet, for those who don't know, is a automotive related yard sale or flea market that again is just pretty much automotive stuff. And while I was there, I found these 4-inch wide 26-inch tires, which is popular on the new style. They have like a mountain bike that came out. I'm not sure if they're 26. I know they're 4. You can put a size on them somewhere. But I do goofy things with bikes. Yeah, 26 times 4. And make different projects. So I grabbed those. Just, I'll give you an idea. Let's go put that next to a 20-inch kid's bike tire. You want me to put that on there? So I grabbed those for 30 bucks. They're just going to go in a stash for future. Also at the swap meet was a VW bus headlight. And I have a VW bus that is missing a headlight because it was punched in. It's got a black eye on one side. It took a hit. A couple of decent scissors, buck a piece. They're not crappy. So I grabbed a couple of those for the garage. And last but not least, at the same swap meet, a Toro 2-stroke snowblower. I am trying to find some light little 2-stroke engines for a project. I want 2 of them that match. So they were asking 30 bucks. I offered 20. I have a feeling the engine may knock. I'm not sure that. I pulled on it, sounds a little clanky. Sorry guys, I had a visitor stop by and I bought a little diesel engine. Show you that in a second. But finishing up on this, yeah, I grabbed this. It was, they asking 30, I paid 20 bucks for it. You pull the cord over, it sounds a little clanky. And they told me they put 4-stroke gas in it, but we're not able to get it started. I'm not sure of that. I suspect that they put regular non-treated, no premix in this 2-stroke and possibly killed the motor, and that's why it's clanking. But we'll find out on that. A bunch of this stuff we'll make videos on, more than likely. We'll see how it is to bring them back to life. And hopefully they don't have much issues. If they do, it'll make for better video anyway. So that is our lineup. That was definitely made up for the lack of not having any sales all summer long. And we have them all done in one weekend. So I'm definitely happy with the scores that I got. But it was 20 bucks. The tent was 20, chainsaw was 20, 10 bucks for the 2 cords, 20 for the binders, 400, 750, 150, 500, 20, the wheels 30, headlight 10, scissors 3, and the blower 20. And then another diesel outside for 20 bucks to wrap up this purchasing melee of a weekend. So I'm definitely happy with all this, and definitely gives us some information from content for future videos of bringing them back to life. I'm probably going to keep one of these 2, probably the John Deere with the power bagger. In the fall I have a lot of trees and a lot of leaves that go around, and this setup right here is really good for doing that. With the extra blower that's in there, it kind of chops the leaves up more and packs them into the bagger. Plus it has enough snot of a vacuum to lift the material up and get it without clogging the bagger setup. So the one that I have now, I have a Toro wheel horse with a same setup on it, but the plastic housing has really been busted to death, and I've glued it back together and put metal patches and all kinds of stuff on it, but it's getting to the point where that part of the system is pretty much gone. So that tractor may just get sold as a regular riding lawnmower next spring, and this will be my new rider, possibly that one or this one. We'll see how both of them function. The other of the 2 can live in somebody else's house once it's done, try to recoup some of my money. All right guys, with that, actually let's go take a peek at that little diesel motor, and then we'll sign off. And out in the sun, you got to sit around the forks, you got to bring it in. So this is a little single cylinder generator. My guess would be it was possibly on a boat, and it was the supply for power. It is locked up. It does not turn. I have a feeling it may have been overheated, judging by the manifold and the cracks on the manifold. That may be the case. Either way, he paid 20 bucks for it. He gave it to me for 20 bucks. He bought it at a yard sale. Possibly we could just do a tear down on it, maybe do an autopsy, see what happened to it, and whether or not we could bring it back to life is a different story, but we can give it a shot anyway. And Charlie Brown's sitting over here in the corner. It's got a black eye. And look at that, another piece of the puzzle for when this gets its turn up on the lift. Makes it just that much happier. Look, it's even smiling a little bit. See? I got a few minutes, so I threw the suspected junk lawnmower up on the lift. Lawnmower, snowblower. Let's go put some two-stroke gas in it. Give it a yank and give it a listen. I have a feeling it's junk, but we're gonna go find out right about now. See that clackiness? That should have been enough to run it for a couple of seconds. Try it again. That's spitting back. Choke is off. Let's go pop the plug out of it. We can figure out where that is and take a quick look at that. The plug's right about here. I can grab it through the side and wiggle my hands back in there, but I want to see if we could pop this up and get a better look at the engine altogether. Get the rest of the screws out of that. I'll bring you back in a second. We can open that. That should be everything except for the gas cap. Nope. One more screw. Now let's see if it comes off. We're in. Let's go whip that around. Should probably put that back on. You can see somebody, put your straight gas in it. Hopefully it just sat and then went to go run it and the carb's all gummed up, which it looks. The carb looks nasty. Let's go pull that plug out, see what we got. Let's get that plug out. I would definitely say she's a tad on the wet side. I'm gonna go clean that up real quick, inspect it. We'll pop it on the head, we'll fire it over, make sure we got a decent spark. If I want to go clean that, that's probably fouled. Smell it. Yeah, not good. Wire reeled it real quick. Yes, that's going to be a tad warm. You knew I was going to do that, didn't you? It's in the land of nowhere. I got to get... You see? Wedge that someplace in there very good. Yeah, spark's decent. Let's give a little in there. It's already got some on the bottom end. Two-stroke oil really doesn't do much for the top. It's more for the bottom end. It lubricates the bottom of the crank and the bottom of the underneath the rings. So we already squished a bunch of fuel down in there, so it does have some on the bottom end. Let's see what it does, what it sounds like. Be back you up. Oh, it smells like raw gas. What I'm thinking, Let's go take a better look. I wonder if the carburetor is so gummed up that it's not getting any throttle. I gotta get, so that's choke. You can't see anything, it's dark. I can't see anything, so I know you can't see anything. I'm gonna grab a light in there. I have a feeling the throttle plate either stuck wide open or stuck closed. A little bit of light. So this is choke, and then this black, I'm pointing to it, barely hard to see. Right there, let's see if we can get, there it goes. It was stuck full throttle. Let's try at idle. See if it does anything. And again. It actually, when you pull start it, it's clanky, but I don't hear it much when it was revving up. It stinks. There is a bunch of crappy fuel that was inside there. So it may be fine. It's just, again, when you pull it over, it's clacky. It could be something maybe in the pull start that's doing that, or a governor, or I'm not sure. I don't think what's inside here is a belt that comes up and around, and there's an idler, and that idler is not pulled up to do anything right now. And now we can kind of that's the noise that's got me. Although it runs, I do think the bottom end is kind of had it. That seems like from there to there. That the crank and the connecting rod have play. Yeah. Well, that's why I only spent 20 bucks on it. So, it's got parts. We can use it for other things. Or possibly, again, I'm trying to find two-stroke motors that have a decent size shaft that comes out of them with a decent amount of horsepower. I think this is a 5 or 7. I think it's a 7. It's 141 cc. Not quite sure what that transfers to in two-stroke lingo. So I'm guessing 7. So I'd like it, you know, have two of the same. Yeah. We could always do a tear down at some point. But for today, I think that's it. It runs. I don't think it's gonna run for long, but it does run. All right, guys, now we're done. Promise. See ya.